Hey, Roll Rough Riders. This is Mademoiselle Mosley again. I hope everybody is doing fine tonight. You know what I want to talk about tonight is successfully broken. Somebody can be broken and successful. Yeah, somebody can be successfully broken. You can be broken and still obtain success. Everybody that got success ain't healed. Because if that was the case, a lot of people wouldn't have to be what they call success if they were healed. Now, we all got a job to do, we got a gift. God has given a plan to each and every one of us to do what it is that they want us to do, how it is He wants us to do and how He wants to do it. But success does not mean you're broken. Because you have a lot of money don't mean you're not broken. Because you're married doesn't mean you're not broken. Because you have a lot of nice things does not mean you aren't broken. A lot of us have strived so very hard to be successful due to our brokenness. Let me get into it some more. But you know how you tell a person is broken? They are still operating in their brokenness by the tactics they use. Yes, by the tactics they use, or they allow themselves to be used to become successful. That's how you know somebody is broken. By any means necessary? I don't think so. Some people want to be successful. By all means necessary? I don't think so. It's like when people are kids, they be like, they see you riding your bike, be like, oh, I'll let you ride my bike if you let me ride yours. If you got your own bike, why do you need to ride somebody else's bike? And why do you need to barter? If you give me this, I'll give you that. That's a lot of people still doing in their adult life what they did in their child life. That's because they are not healed. They are still broken. They don't know how to just give something just to be giving it. They make sure they give it with strings, because you're going to feel that pullback. You feel me? So, I see men trying to finesse and impress women all the time. But you know what? To impress a real woman, just be a man. To impress a real woman, just be a man and let her decide if she wants to be with the type of man that you are or not. Just be yourself. And if yourself don't agree with herself, then there's nothing wrong with not being with each other. That's fine. But the problem is that when you fake and you get into a relationship and then you get down to the real eventually as time goes on, it messes up everything. Just be yourself. If she don't like it or he don't like it, then they have a right not to like it. You got to give people a choice. You got to let them decide about the real you. You just give, like, I'm going to say this. We all been played a time or two. Yes, we have. But that don't mean you play others because you've been played. That's not what that means. Because see, what happens to you is now you become a worker bee. If you play somebody because somebody else played you, now you're a worker bee, always seeing who you can pollinate with. Oh, I'm not finna commit, but you pollinating, going from flower to flower. You pollinating, but you ain't gonna commit. So you a worker bee. And your work is, as a worker bee, is to pass on the brokenness in promises of success. Oh, if you do this, I'm going to make sure, I promise that you're going to get this. That's why a lot of marriages don't last, because it's the brokenness. We're coming together out of the brokenness and not out of our fullness. We're trauma bonding. We're not coming together because we belong together and it flows so naturally together. There's a reason why I'm getting with you and you getting with me. And I'm talking about the brokenness, the people that are still broken, not the healed people that understands what a commitment is. That's why a lot of people can't stay committed, because they're broken. They don't understand that the commitment is protection, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Okay, like the pollination aspect of it. You're going to always see a different flower, a prettier flower, a bigger flower, but it doesn't mean you go and pollinate with that flower, because you never know what's inside of the flower. You don't know what's going to happen if you pollinate with the wrong flower. But you're a worker bee. So if you're a worker bee, you're not really caring about who you pollinate with. You're just pollinating. That's a part of your work. That's a part of your work, to pass on the brokenness. That's your work, to go around breaking people. But you didn't like what it felt when you got broken. See, even though you're an entrepreneur and you're not working for the man, oh no, you don't have a boss. You are the boss. You are the entrepreneur. That is your business. You are the head honcho. Even though you're not working for the man, and you are the man, the boss, but you're working for the spirit of brokenness for sure. You may not be working for a spiritual man, a physical being, a physical man, but you are working for the spirit to pass on the spirit of brokenness and have it wrapped up in success. And I'm not talking about every successful person. I am talking about the people who are broken and successful. You could still be broken and get a breakthrough. Why do you think all this stuff happening with some of these stars? All the things are just coming out later on in life. It's not that they're bad people because they're doing bad things. Is that they've never dealt with their brokenness to become full. And sometimes it takes them to almost the end of their career to really understand that all of this is fictitious. It's fiction. It's not even real. Everything that you built upon does not mean anything, because when you leave this dimension, it's not going with you. Nothing you bought, nowhere you lived, none of that. It's staying right here for somebody else to live in it, for somebody else to marry them, for that's just what it is. And you need to get down to the part that no matter how successful you are, if you're broken, it's going to show. So, like I said, we need to heal, because we can be successfully broken. I hope that helped y'all. Like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, get it before it gets you.